So I want to talk about how do you find great PhD candidates. And it really relates to what I'm doing with, just being out in the open and, just being part of your life, right? So if you don't know me, I am Professor Dave Maslock. I'm Associate Professor of Innovation Strategy and Entrepreneurship, and I create this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I want to pay the favor forward to help you out. So we've got this structure in academia. I just want to sort of talk to you about what I'm thinking with this, right? So doing research is the sort of product of academics that we really want to do, right? And what is research? Well, it's reading, writing, and arithmetic, and it usually comes in the form of journal articles, right? And that's the big thing. And it's original, basically it's just original ideas. And it's really hard to do those things, but a really important part of, doing that is actually having, great people around, right? And being able to do really interesting, cool things with those great people that are really fun. And the model, the way that it's sort of typically set up, is that the prestige of the university is what sort of drives PhD students to go different ways, right? And sort of to attract PhD students to different places, right? So the way that it works is that, PhD students, students in general, right? They look at the rankings of the different institutions. There's some external ranking body that looks at that, like U.S. World News, and then the students look at that, and then they sort of choose where they're going to go, and everybody clamors to one particular university or two particular universities, and everybody tries to get into those couple particular universities. So those places get a tremendous amount of amazing opportunities to work with some really cool people, right? Except for as you sort of go down this ranked ordered list, it gets a little tougher to find different people, because most people just don't understand that there's great opportunities everywhere. And they think that there's this kind of ranked order thing. That's a product of, I'm going to tell you this, I think it's a big, strong product of America. America loves rankings. They love the sort of competition aspect of it, of all these kind of things. So it's not necessarily as big of a problem in other countries, but in America it's very big. What ends up happening is that fewer people will sort of explore different opportunities, and then it's hard to find different candidates and stuff, right, to work with. And so I thought part of this whole reciprocity project is, hey, what if I was just open? And what if I changed the whole dynamic here? And people just got to know who I was, and people understood that, I'm a normal person. Well, then, ideally what would happen, because the internet goes out to everybody and it's very democratic, right? Like, people can sort of look at this, is that they'll self-identify and find me or find people that are like me, that might sort of resonate. And then hopefully I sort of teach them that you can find people everywhere. That's really fun to work with. And then B, I could just be myself, and then hopefully some people would self-select to come to, work at whatever university I'm at the time, right? So hopefully this is around for 40 years, people find me, and then they're like, hey, you know what, I want to go work with Professor Maslock, because, he helped me out in different ways. So it's a different structure, but, what ends up happening, and what I've realized, is that there's a lot of unwritten rules in academia that I'm completely violating with this. And I think it's not unlike a lot of industries, right? So if you're in the finance industry, if you're just kind of being open and, doing these kind of things, people are going to look at you weird, right? If you were a lawyer and you had your own podcast and you were chatting about things, you were going to be like, you're weird. But, as I've been doing these things, what I've realized is that, I'm a professor of innovation. I've realized that culture has dramatically changed in the last 10 years, and academia does not recognize that at all. And so I have to be the person that goes out and kind of just chats about things and is open and, not scared about doing things. And that took me a tremendous amount of time. I'm still self-conscious, but I'm aware. I'm not self-conscious anymore. I was really self-conscious about doing these kind of things early on for the first couple of years, really painfully. I'm aware of it, that people think I'm crazy and, people think I'm a kook. But I also know that this is an important part of, where things are going to go in the future. So hopefully this is, just me being me. And then you can self-identify with people. Hopefully you can self-identify with me. Let's take a pause. I'm going to come back. Okay, I'm back. And I was just talking about, what occurred to me with doing this is... that's so important. If I'm just open and I'm myself, and then eventually, not just like, PhD students, but just people are going to sort of gravitate towards me because, we've got this sort of human experience that we have, right? And it's not the law of attraction and all that kind of sort of woo-wee stuff. But if you're just like open, you realize that the internet is very expansive. It's very democratic. People are going to self-identify and they're going to say, hey, you know what? I actually want to be around this person because they kind of get me and I get them. I understand what they're about. And that's something that's really important to understand is that there is a lot of people in this world, and how we are structured normally, we're bound by these sort of geographic barriers and stuff, so we're only going to bump into a few people every day. But the internet is this weird place that connects you with people all around the world, and you're never going to know who those people are and all that kind of stuff. And then, if you continue to do this and you continue to be open, which takes a tremendous amount of effort, to get over a lot of different things, right? Or just to feel comfortable with it. If you can do that, and you do it long enough, then I suspect, and this is my hypothesis or my, proposition, I guess, is that there'll be people that will self-identify and get what you're about, and then they'll want to hang out, do different things and those kind of things. And so as long as you're helpful and you're nice, you sort of show your true personality. Maybe if you're even grumpy and angry all the time, you'd show that personality. Then that people will self-identify, and you'll find those people will find you, whatever that looks like. It just takes a long time, and I'm hoping that this becomes a thing for me. I get to sort of, help out a lot of people, which is cool because, I can have a much larger impact than what I'm doing right now. But as well as, and it might be in 30 years, right? Like, that's the interesting thing, is that the internet is really persistent. But as well as, hey, maybe I can find people that will want to hang out and, do cool research and have fun and all that kind of stuff, which is actually really hard to do. So, if you're listening to this and you want to hang out and do all that kind of stuff, I'm always looking for cool and fun and interesting people to work with. So, give me a shout. Doesn't mean that I'll respond. There's lots of people. It's a busy life, all that kind of stuff. So don't get upset. Please don't get upset if I don't respond. I got to make that calculation too, with thinking about how much of an investment it's going to be, because it's actually really hard. So if you're not serious and all that kind of stuff, don't reach out. But if you're serious, you're a legit person that's doing legit good stuff, I'm always here. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.